Hello and welcome back to part 2 of this best of 3 between Astarwulf and Endgame. So far we've seen some really good play, and all of those Immortals are very powerful against the Marauders because they do a very impressive 50 damage, 55 now that they have, I think it's 50 originally. Anyways, it's 55 now that they have, what is it? That thingy, whatever that is, upgrade. And these guys are charge lots. He pulls back, though. He doesn't quite like the look of this matchup. So he's going to pull back and get into these vents where the ranged units don't have advantage. But no, he's not actually going to do that. He's just going to keep running. Which this army is not following him. But he's decided to fall back to this location. Maybe so he can warp in more units. He is warping in more units, but not at that location. He does have a stray Void Ray sitting out there. And looks like these guys are going to go to work on the back rocks. Of course, there is a pylon there, so he can scout it if he notices. I'm going to switch this to Astarwulf's view, and we'll see if he sees it. Now, he does have 4 Phoenixes camped over here to make sure that he doesn't lift off an expansion. I'd like to see those guys scout or do something. They're really a waste just sitting there. So he does see this, but his army is not moving. He doesn't notice it because you can't see it on the minimap. And let's see what his reaction time is. Okay, so here's his army. And you can just see that Marine. And he noticed it. He noticed the rocks are gone and his army is coming down here. Anyways, let me switch it back to everybody. But, Endgame could have had a huge advantage by pushing in there. He might have been able to sack this entire base. But it looks like it just would have been a base swap because Astarwulf looks like he was going to go for his opponent's base. This Void Ray is still heading out into no man's land. He might try and snipe a building or something. These two armies camping off just a stone's throw away from each other. This Void Ray is just going to camp there for no apparent reason. Oh, a planetary fortress at the gold. I didn't see this. So on the income, Astarwulf is still miles in the lead because he's got 94 harvesters, but he is actually max supply blocked. He sees this army, and here we go. The fight ensues. All of those Immortals are going to do terrible, terrible damage. EMP goes down, though, which is going to knock out the shield for those Immortals, which is pretty big. But, of course, all those Zealots in the mix just do terrible damage. The Marines, of course, destroy these Immortals very quickly, but most of them are gone. They are being healed, though. Carrier is in the mix. Only he had his Phoenixes here to take out those Medivacs. But no, it will come down to this 2 Carriers and these 3 Marauders. So if we look on the Units Lost tab, in Resources, Endgame has lost far more. 2,500 more resources. And, of course, these Carriers are about to start burning up this gold expansion. Because, of course, you cannot plank air. That Void Ray should get in on the mix, too. And where are those Phoenixes? And look, he's going to take this expansion. That's a very bold thing to do. It's just right next to his base, and of course you can do drops, but maybe it's the last thing he's going to expect. So they stim up and are going to try and run in to get those Carriers, but those Carriers fly away. So all they're going to get is a few Interceptors. Unless he stims again. If he stims a second time. But no, he's not going to. And it really would have been futile anyways, because they can just fly over this cliff. Anyways, did some damage to that planetary fortress, but of course he can't always repair it. These SCVs sitting there doing nothing, which is not good, especially when you're down 37 SCVs. So these 3 expansions, like, totally saturated, and this one's about to be, as soon as this finishes. And that will really give him a huge economic advantage. This factory has landed. What is it going to do? Who can say? So, finally some High Templar action. So we are seeing a really crazy Protoss army. He has scouted this and he's going to surround it with his charge lot. No sound effects here for some reason. There we go, it does get away, but those Carriers might run it down. 4 Carriers! Oh my goodness, what is he running off of? He's got a Carrier, a whole bunch of probes doing nothing there, or his 4 Phoenixes. He does have he could warp in a mothership. Let me change this over to production. What am I doing on income? No mothership yet. We do have a lot on the production tab for the Terran player Endgame, but will it be enough? Because Astarwulf is amassing this absolutely huge army. He is at his population max, so he's probably going to charge soon. He's at a massive 200 over 152. So he's probably going to push in soon as he can't build anything. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. He's camping on 5,000 crystals and expanding. So, looks like these. Well, I don't know what he's going to do. He's got 44 interceptors. That's a bunch of interceptors. Anyways, these phoenixes are going to totally take down that factory. Finally, that factory that's been flying around for so long. On the army over here, we see Marines and Marauders. The High Templar are the perfect counter for that. Now, is he going High Templar or is he getting Archons? We will see. I think High Templar. I would personally think that High Templar would be more useful at this point against Marines and Marauders, since one Psystorm will kill a Marine. But looks like he's going to be pushing in this back door. But I think he's been spotted. Hang on. Well, now he is most certainly. Doubtless this army, all of these carriers will be moving soon, I would think. And there they all go. So he's going to take down this pylon. Not much gain, though. He really needs to continue to push in. He does have a ghost in there who can EMP. In fact, he can throw down 2 EMPs, so he can EMP the carriers if he wants to. He needs to push in and get some buildings, tech buildings. And here we have the fight. Doubtless we're going to see an EMP. And Psystorms, like all those guys about to get owned. Oh, kablooey, kablooey, kablooey. Oh, so much death and carnage. Ghost Psystorms single-handedly just destroy all those guys. The problem is they don't have a fast. It's difficult to micro them well enough to have them run. But all of these carriers, looks like he lost. No, he didn't. They're just up here. Anyways, he just. What happened here? Oh, he must have warped in a couple dozen. A whole bunch of. He's got 9 gateways, so I think he just warped in 9 zealots. Anyways, these carriers are completely mauling his base. He's got a whole bunch of Vikings go over here. This carrier is going to go down really fast, but will it be enough? What is he? Wait, he's pulling back? He's probably pulling back to his marine line. I would think he. Well, I don't know. No, he's going to let the carriers focus on someone else and snipe down another carrier. But of course, he only has 2 Vikings. They will now be flying away. Not exactly sure what else he can do in this game. This command center is getting taken down, and you can see how badly he's being pressed to have taken that long to lift off his command center. But these units will doubtless be pushing across the map, and there we go. We have our first Archon. So we might have a bunch more to follow. We shall see. So there's our totally cool Archon. Anyways. All these carriers just destroying everything. So he's lost 3 carriers, though, to Phoenixes. To Vikings. And they now will be attacking another one. And will do a good bit of damage, but not enough. He really needs to get, and he's got like 8,000 crystal. Oh, no, that's Astarwulf. He's got 1,500 crystals. He might consider going for a whole bunch of Marines. I don't know why you would produce Marauders at a time like this. But of course, they get killed so fast against Interceptors, who do 8 damage. So yeah, every single one of these Interceptors is doing 8 damage. So that's a lot of damage. This planetary fortress is going down. So it did look like he killed a bunch of High Templars there. And actually, is it going to go down? He still has SCVs repairing it. The only thing left is that Archon. And no, he's going to pull back. He'll lose both of those High Templar. Well, just one of them. He's probably going to morph these 2 guys into into Archons and maybe press again. I don't know. That was interesting. I guess he decided he can destroy it better with his carrier. So it's really just mop up. I don't know why exactly Endgame is still in the game. They're probably on vent chatting. And actually, no, he's probably just trying to... Actually, he might still be trying to win off of this fort. That's why the Archon's pulled back. Is because he's not licked yet. He's got all these guys, so he's going to stim up and continue to fall back and try and get some shots off at these guys. Oh, but a Psystorm goes down, and that does so much damage, and Stim just ran out. And the carriers come in to save the day, and that's that. So, elsewhere, not a lot else going on. Like, this expansion is totally saturated to the breaking point. I don't think you can possibly squeeze another mineral. And 4 carriers on the way. And Endgame just really doesn't have the response for this. He's got 5 Marines and a Marauder on the way, but all he's harvesting out of is this gold, and that is not much. He's lifted off to this expansion and has it muled up, but he's got 32 harvesters to 74. Of course, all 3 of these expansions are mined out. Astarwulf really needs to expand to this one, but then again, with as many crystals as he's got in the bank, he actually doesn't really need to expand. And a whole bunch of pylons going down because he lost. These carriers are ready to continue mop-up, but they're not going to. I'm going to speed this up since we're in the mop-up phase. Bunch of zealots being warped in. I love zealots. I love zealots in mass on this map at the end of the game because they look so cool. Especially like the yellow ones. I don't know, the color just works together so well. Anyways, all these Marines and Marauders are going to be trying to knock down those rocks, but all of those interceptors are going to come in. How many interceptors is that? 55 interceptors. Yeah, those rocks do go down, and he is going to charge, but of course all those zealots, he stims again, but oh man, he doesn't have anything. I mean, Psy Storms, 56 interceptors, zealots, yeah, Archons. He's just got nothing on the map that can even begin to deal with this. And right now it's just mop-up. He's trying to micro his Marines and doing a good job at it too, but just getting destroyed. And so this is, GG, he says, this is the first game in a best of 3 between these 2 players, and we will see if Endgame can pull it back together in a map of his choice in the Game 3 between Astarwulf and Endgame in Round 5 of the RPG.net tournament.